4 games in 6 days against really formidable opponents. Super proud of our kids for coming away with that win tonight. We knew going into this it was going to be a really difficult matchup for us because SFA is a good basketball team, number one. Coach Bishop does a great job with them, and they're very experienced. They play in the NCAA tournament because they win their league, and we just knew that they were going to be very, very tough. Especially with us coming off of the trip that we just came off on with 1 day of prep. We traveled back and traveled all day long Sunday, 1 day of prep on Monday, and then played tonight. So a lot of fatigue. I knew that SFA wouldn't go away. We definitely lost mental focus in the fourth quarter, but I did think for the most part, especially for the first 3 quarters, we played pretty good basketball. Really good to see the ball go in the basket for us from the 3-point line. Clearly, turnovers is a sign of fatigue tonight for sure, but overall, really proud of our kids for getting that win.
Jordan, just kind of overall, what have you seen from the team since the Florida State game to bounce back and kind of get back on track?
I think our intensity is something that has for sure carried us, through the games. Whether it's the highs or lows, we'd always find a way to come together, and it was most likely on the defensive end, just getting stops. We talk a lot about building bricks, so just, using that as motivation to play both sides of the ball, be able to get a stop, then go down, execute, and, just keep doing that to build our way back. So I think that that's something that's been huge for us, and also just our togetherness. It's been tough, like Coach Ehrlich said, with, the travel, the games that are back-to-back, but just staying together, staying united in those situations has really brought us, very far. So I think that definitely helped us tonight for sure.
Yeah, Kyle, kind of along those lines, how did the trip, even outside of basketball, just help y'all sort of bond as a team?
Well, I felt like a lot of that trip was mainly for us to build our togetherness, bring our confidence up, not just individually, but together. It was definitely a time for us to challenge ourselves and be able to push through hard, because playing 3 games in 3 days, it's a challenge. But being able to mentally lock in and mentally stay focused and physically be able to push through the hard is what kept us going. And that's something we had to go through today again, but I felt like that's mainly what's keeping us together.
Kyla, 11 rebounds, and for Jordan it was 9. You two were the leading rebounders for tonight's game. Just what worked really well about your presence in the paint tonight?
I'd say what worked well for us was just being there in general and, being prepared for, wanting our teammates to make the shot, but being prepared to get a second shot for ourselves or for our teammates. So just being in the paint and knowing where the shot's going to go, or just being able to push our way, not push our way through, but, get through. I might have one time. Just get through, all of the defenders and, the blockouts, and just being able to tough it out is what really was the reason we got those.
I think I think for me personally, mine came on the defensive end. So we really emphasized tagging because we knew that they were going to be in a zone. So just making sure I was able to get there to keep my men from, 1, getting the rebound, and 2, also getting out to get a leak-out layup. So it was just really important that, we use what we, spent the 1 day prep on to make sure we executed that and keep them off the boards.
Thanks, girls.
Good
job, you guys.
Coach, coming off a big stretch of games, just off the tournament, and then having that 1 day prep, what does it mean to win a game like this versus an undefeated team while continuing to build a streak at home?
Yeah, it's huge for us. I called this a trap game, and not because because of any reason other than I knew we were going to be tired coming off of that stretch, and I knew how good SFA was going to be, and hungry to beat us on our home court. So it's a big win. It really is for us to be able to stay together and fight through some adversity. We saw a lot of mental lapses tonight, which was prepared for, but at the same time, I was hoping that we could push through it a little bit better than we did. But I do think that getting that win is huge for us, and they're going to win a lot of basketball games and could possibly win their conference, and so that's going to be a great win for us later.
Yeah, Coach, what have you seen from the team since that loss to Florida State?
Yeah, I think our defensive intensity has really gone up. I think our press has been really effective, and just in the half court getting some great stops. I think for 3 quarters we played pretty good defense, and the fourth quarter got away from us a little bit. But I think that our kids are just playing at a faster pace. I think they're trusting each other a little bit more. They're understanding what we want. I just feel like the togetherness for sure, but the confidence level as well. I think it's always good to go away and kind of have a couple of days to yourself where it's just you and the team, and they really have to stick together in difficult situations. And the Florida State game, if we could have the first quarterback, I think that's a different ball game altogether. But really proud of their fight the entire weekend that we were there, and then for them to come back and gather themselves. We had a good practice yesterday. I really liked their energy. I thought we had a good shoot around today. And like I said, for the first 3 quarters, I thought we played pretty good basketball.
And since last week, some different starting lineups and different rotations. At what point do you want to have a pretty steady lineup and rotation?
Yeah, I mean, really, I don't want to have one. I want there to be internal competition. I want our kids to know that they have to perform to be able to earn that spot. I want them to see our depth, and that on any given night it can be somebody else. So I want there to continue to be kids that really compete for a position, and for whether that's starting or not, and for playing time. And then I also want kids to compete to keep it as well. I think it's great for us.
I know turnovers have hampered y'all at times throughout the season. Are you seeing the same type of turnovers, or is it different? Just how do you sort of work to improve that?
Yeah, so for one thing, obviously Bailey had a really tough night tonight on the turnover department, but I can't tell you how good she played the past weekend. She was such a warrior for us in all 3 games, and played a lot of minutes. And really took over, against Gonzaga and even Missouri State. I thought she was really, really tough. So I hated that she had such a tough night with the turnover department, because she's really been playing well. I think tonight a lot of it was fatigue. Even the 3rd game we played in the Virgin Islands, we had some uncharacteristic turnovers, or some that were very unforced. And that to me is definitely fatigue. And we addressed it when we got back. We talked about it in every timeout that we had today. And we're going to just continue to work on that and taking care of the basketball.
42 rebounds, 28 points in the paint, and 16 second chance points. How dominant was your presence in the paint tonight?
Yeah, I thought our kids did a great job on the glass. Like, I love the fact we got 19 offensive boards. We need to get more production than just 16 points if we're going to rebound it 19 times. We need to be able to figure that out. But I didn't feel like they killed us necessarily offensively rebounding, but still 12 is too many for me. But I did think that our presence, I thought our kids were really active and used their athleticism.
And just talking about your bench, Adley and Jada both had 3 threes. They led the team in that category, and Kyla led with rebounds with 11. What's that to say about the depth of this team as you come off that stretch of games just to come back home and win in this kind of caliber? Yeah,
we're going to have to use it all year long. I mean, that's going to be one of our strengths. Obviously, it already is, and it was our strength in the Virgin Islands as well, is that we were able to play at a fast pace, full court press for 3 consecutive games, and our kids just got better and better. And I think tonight you could see our intensity on the defensive side as well. I mean, to hold a team that averages 82 to 25 in the first half, I thought our defense was very effective. So I love the fact that we've got depth. I love the fact that we can pull people off the bench and they can have a big night. They see their role. I think Adley Blacklock is playing her role so well. And I thought she had a really good night tonight. And then Jada, it was nice to see her find the basket because she can really shoot the basketball. And she's been playing really well for us as well.
You get a few days off after playing all those games in a row. How much do you guys need that right now, and what do you want to prioritize over the next week or so?
We definitely need some days off to get our legs back under us, and they need to get in the classroom, and finals start on Thursday, so they definitely have to get their minds right for for that piece of it. So I think this comes at a great time. You know, we're going to take a couple of days off for them to just rest. They need to rest their bodies, recover, fuel back up, and then you know, we'll come back and get in the gym and shoot it quite a bit, and then and start practicing on Saturday again. And then we've got a big week next week going on the road for 2 tough games, and so I think it's coming right at the right time. But really important for them to get some good rest in the next couple of days. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate y'all being here.